I had this little girl.
Now we both wearing pink.
I saw that when I saw yours. I'm like, not the pink.
Like, oh, see? We've been thinking alike, bro.
Too much.
That's
Too much
insane. I know I said we was going to wear a hat, but maybe not the same color.
And we did not plan this.
No, man. Oh, my God. My thing is shaking. Don't shake. Hey, y'all. Hey, good night. It's your girl, Ooh, wait a minute. Wrong platform.
That girl thought she was on YouTube.
Wait a minute. And I said that, so I was like, I hope I don't get out here with that intro. Oh, my God. And I did the same thing. Okay. Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Shanette Elaine, and welcome back to Tonight. I am your host. And with me, I have...
I'm your co-host, Kia Nicole.
And tonight, y'all, we're going to be talking cuisine, drinks, and much more. So, let me get my handy-dandy notebook. And we're going to get on into
Come on, Blues.
Hop into that. Right. You know, we grew up on... Well, I grew up on Blues Clues. So, you know. So, tonight, what are we sipping on? I am sipping on... Guess what I'm sipping on, y'all? It looks so good. It's just strawberry lemonade.
Okay. Well, mine's strawberry too, but not lemonade. Strawberry and peach. Well, I had to mix two different wines because I ran out, but strawberry and peach wine.
Come on, liqueur.
Alcohol. So, liquor is a totally different thing.
Y'all, let's hop right into the question. So, of course, first things first. Okay, when trying a new cuisine for the first time, what's your approach on it? Like, if you're going somewhere and it's like food, like, what's your take on that?
Usually, I get all of my recipes if I'm trying a new recipe from either Instagram, like the shorts. I'm not the shorts. Lord, I'm on a different platform. The reels. YouTube got us in a chokehold. Release me, YouTube. All right. I go on Instagram and it's kind of already on my For You page. I'm looking at them constantly. So I usually go through my shorts, and if I see something interesting, not shorts, Lord, my reels, and if I see something interesting, I'll save it. I have a whole playlist of like saved recipes or whatever.
Right.
And my Instagram. And then sometimes I use YouTube as well. If I see something interesting and I need to see like a step-by-step visual of how they did it, you know. So usually I do that, then I go to the store, grab the ingredients. I never completely do exactly what they do, so I always remix it. Either I use different seasonings, or I may omit a seasoning they use or an ingredient that they may use, or I may, you know, swap out things. And yeah, that's usually how I approach new recipes.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming in. Right now, we're talking about how do you approach trying new cuisines or new food dishes. For me personally, I enjoy the content on Instagram and I enjoy it on Facebook, but the replica of it, I just feel like sometimes, like you said, supplementing certain seasonings. I'm the type of person who like my food overly seasoned to begin with, so I change a lot of the recipe, which it could be good or bad, because that could mean I change the whole meal by changing the recipe and putting my own. Or if I follow theirs, it might be too bland for me, might not be as excited for me. So that's the only thing when taking an approach. I got to really sit down and think about, is this a food that I know I'm going to eat on for a few days? That doesn't make sense, because a lot of times you're spending money, you're getting all these products, and it's like, it doesn't make sense if you eat it and it's just not for you. You know, it would make sense. It has to be something appealing for me to want it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so branching off from that, what's a memorable example of like a dish that surprised you? It could be something good that you tried, something bad that you've tried. Like, what is something that you stepped out of your comfort zone and was like, wow, this is great?
A few foods. I'm not gonna say out of my comfort zone, but
more memorable. Use the word memorable.
Yeah. Okay, so my most recent one was I made the smash burgers, which they went viral a while back. I don't know if they're still viral, but I know Chili's had a $13 meal deal with the smash burgers, and you get fries and a drink for like $13. But I made them homemade, and they were actually really good, surprisingly. Because sometimes, like you said, it can be hit or miss when you start changing ingredients and stuff. And I didn't make it exactly like the way they have it. They have it to where you don't season a burger. You like just put the burger in the pan, and then you like smash it or whatever with either a smasher, or you can grab two spatulas and try to like smash it, you know, manually. And then the seasonings come in the sauce. Like I guess they think the sauce is supposed to. Yeah, no, baby. I went and seasoned my actual burger, and then I also made the sauce, and it was really really good.
Mm.
And that surprised me. So yeah, the smash burgers. I made bang bang shrimp, and that was really good. Surprisingly, anything that I make and like I get it right the first time is always like yes. Because like you said, you just be heartbroken when you spend all this money on the ingredients to make this food and then like it don't turn
Mm.
out right. So I will get into a couple failures, but that and then red beans and rice was really really good. I've made that a few times now. And that's really just all about the seasonings and just making sure that you're seasoning it to your taste. That's really all that's about. But really, really good comfort food. A couple failures was that stuffed chicken that was like a whole viral thing, copycat
Was it
from
the roof
yeah,
Chris?
the
Was it the
copycat. Oh, I couldn't get
yeah,
with it. Then I did stuffed salmon. It's the cream cheese. I It
yeah.
just threw it off for me. It was too overwhelming. So
Okay.
yeah.
But in the meantime, y'all, I'm gonna just cover what's a memorable dish for me that stuck out, that was good. When I went to Atlanta, I had tried the THC grits, shrimp and grits for the first time, and baby, I just thought for some reason it was gonna take me out because I'm not used to THC like that, like heavy like that. And they had it by size, so it's like if you got a small bowl, it will fit that. If you got a large bowl, they will give you more. So just based on the size of the plate that you order is how much THC they will put. So at this point in time, I ask questions and I'm like, okay, just put a little bit, don't put too much or whatever the case was, because it's my first time trying it. But that to me, it could be a hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
And THC has a certain taste to it. It's not medicated, but it does give that kind of you could tell something was added into your food and it wasn't seasoned.
Yeah.
Like you could get an aftertaste. So I thought it was gonna be a complete like miss for me, but I actually enjoyed it because it's not something that I had before and it was like a different taste. I was willing to go along with it, but after I was done eating it, they're like, "Oh, you just feel good. Like it's not supposed to be something that like knock you out for a while." And I felt good after. I was very relaxed, and I said, "Well, I ain't never ate a meal got stuff that was relaxed. Usually, I'm a little like energetic with all the food I consume. So for me, I'm just like, okay, so that was a good hit for me. And then a miss for me, I want to say, is vegan food. Now, there's certain vegan foods that's a hit and certain vegan foods that's not. I have a few
Mm-hmm.
friends that are vegan, and yeah, they're smart. They make me eat the food first and then tell me it's vegan. They don't tell me before because then I'm gonna say
Yeah.
no. So I've tried vegan. I tried vegan meatballs. Had no idea that it was vegan. I've tried what was it? Was it vegan? Was it bread? No, it wasn't bread. It was
A
something else.
burger, right?
Something else that was made. I think I tried the meat for that as well. It was something else that was made, almost like a baby shower food, but it was something else that was made, and it was mac and cheese, I think it was, or something like that that they had.
Mm,
And
you
yeah, I
bold.
know it sounded terrible, but like I said, it's a hit or miss. But if you know how to season it right, it won't taste bad. So because they're vegans and they've been for a while and they knew how to season it,
Yeah.
it didn't taste bad to me. But I would have never known it was vegan unless they told me that it was. So that's the
Oh,
only thing
good.
that I have when it comes. So that's a good hit too. But then I've had a miss where I tried. They were doing some experimental thing around school at the time, and I tried vegan food, and I was like, never again. It took all the saliva I had in my mouth out, and I swear to God, vegan food was the worst. So I just think it depends. And it was like a granola bar I had, and I'm like, what type
Vegan
of? It was so
granola
earthy.
bar?
It was very earthy. It was very dry. I had to try it because we're in a class that we
Oh,
had to try it. So it just so that was a miss for me. Vegan food is like, if it's done at a restaurant or something, but by somebody I know, yes.
what's that place in Atlanta
Oh,
that we had tried?
yep.
I
I never
made us
tried
try. It
it.
was
Y'all
so
did.
good.
Study vegans. Study
Oh
vegans.
my God, it was so. Now that was good. That's the only vegan food I had that I think was really really good. I haven't really had any other vegan food. Oh no, I had Burger King's Impossible Whopper. That's pretty good when they make it right.
I feel like when we start changing products and changing stuff, we're just putting all these unnecessary things. Girl, that could have been grass from outside. They cooked down and told you, "Oh, it's
It was
impossible." You would have been like, "Wow, move! It tastes good."
a vegan burger is good. A plant-based burger is
Okay,
actually not bad when it's
I
done
get it.
right.
It depends on how it's seasoned, who seasoned it, what's going on. It all depends
Baby, the
on those
slutty
things.
vegans knew what they was doing.
See, I didn't really try. I think I tried like the milkshake or the drink that y'all had, but I
Yeah, you
didn't try
didn't
the
eat
actual
because I
burger.
think you decided to eat something else, right?
Seafood,
Yeah.
period.
It was so good. It was good.
I have to give it a try when I go back. What was that? Atlanta?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
was in Atlanta.
A little branch off a little bit, but the same thing. What is a food or drink that you used to dislike, but now you actually enjoy it? And also, what changed your mind about it?
There's a couple. So Brussels sprouts. I recently
Oh,
had
I was
Brussels
thinking that in my
sprouts.
head. Oh my god.
Really? So growing up, I never tasted it, but everyone would just say how nasty it was, and it was like the
Right.
worst vegetable ever. So I had in my mind I was never gonna try it. I'm like, well, everybody else says it's nasty, it must be nasty. No need for me to try it. But then
Mm-hmm.
I went to a lounge and they had it. It was a Caribbean lounge, so maybe the way they seasoned it, it was good. I don't know, but it was so good, and I was like, wow. I didn't even realize I was eating Brussels sprouts until I looked at them like, this looks like a mini cabbage. The only thing
Right.
I know that looks like a mini cabbage is Brussels sprouts. So I'm like, oh my gosh,
Ain't
I'm
no
eating
look like a
Brussels
mini
sprouts.
cabbage. Brussels sprouts are mini
Well,
cabbages.
anyway, it looks like a mini cabbage. We don't call
I'm
them mini
like,
cabbages. We call them Brussels sprouts. So I'm like, oh my
yeah.
gosh, I'm eating a Brussels sprout and it's good. So that's one. What else? A drink that I didn't like growing up was tea, but now that I'm an adult, I appreciate tea. More so like ginger tea and peppermint tea. I'm into those two specifically. Green tea sometimes. And what else? There was one more. Brussels sprout. Oh, broccoli. I didn't really care for it growing up, and now that's like my go-to vegetable
Yeah.
when I'm cooking is broccoli.
So, foods and drinks, I felt like I disliked growing up. I might do drinks first. I would say coffee. That was big growing up, but back then, like it was my sister's grandma. We don't share the same grandma. She would go and actually get the coffee beans off the tree and brew it like fresh. That's what she would
Mm-hmm.
do. So I'm like, oh, the smell of it when coffee starts to get ripened, it smells really good, very strong. But the taste of coffee, the best way to drink it is black, and I can't do that. So I feel like the aftertaste of coffee for me, I know what it is. I have to drink coffee sweet. If I'm drinking it sweet, then it kind of like dilutes the bitterness behind it. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm pretty much I'm okay. I prefer iced coffee for most of it, not really so much hot, but I can stand the taste now. Back then, no matter what it was, I loved the smell of it, but I couldn't stand the taste of it. Like the aftertaste just drove me crazy. But now I can stomach it. I feel like I've drank it enough to where I've built some type of tolerance for it, so I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a spur of the moment. Like, I randomly be sitting down, like, oh, I could go for a coffee or something like that, but nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna sit here like I'm not a coffee fanatic where I'm like, oh, I gotta get up in the morning every morning. I gotta get me a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
No, I tried to be that girly, and I'm just not her. I bought the whole, hey Anna, welcome in. I bought the whole coffee maker. I bought the whole, the mix. I bought I do the whole shebang, and it just wasn't giving. But iced coffee, yes, I get down with that. So I think it just depends, and it also depends on where I go. Like if they have tea or something like that, I grew up on
Mm-hmm.
tea, so tea is a go to for me. So that's something I felt like I didn't like as much as a kid. The next thing I would say is sushi. I'm like I like
Uh,
sushi a whole lot more as an adult. I didn't like it when I was younger because I just felt like it didn't. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me like why people are consuming raw foods. But for me, I like my sushi to cooked to some extent. Like I have rules. Like I have to replace the seaweed with soy wrap because I'm allergic to it. I can't eat the caviar because I'm allergic to it. I can't eat the eel sauce because I'm allergic to it. So there's certain things I gotta replace. But baby, best believe I'm gonna do my big one, and I'm fin to eat what I'm not supposed to. But I'm gonna find ways to substitute these things, and I do.
Because
So
is it
that for me,
sushi? After you do all of that, is it still sushi?
it is still sushi. It is. It is. You're just substituting, but that's why they make like soy wraps for short rib sushi. See, I've never tried that. I always try something seafood,
I'm
like
like
always
you,
like
because
a
I
tuna.
can't see no comments now.
Yeah. So Anna just said short ribs, sushi, chef's kiss, and I typically stick to the shrimp and the seafood and like the chicken type sushis, but I need to venture out. I just got to get comfortable to do so. But I will say that is a food that wasn't, and something else I really care for, like now as an adult, bananas. I used to love bananas growing up,
Yeah.
and then one day out of the blue, the smell of the banana made me gag all the time. And then I had threw up twice at the smelling bananas. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just like a mind thing. Maybe it's just my mind playing games. And it's like, no, the smell of bananas for me is very like nauseating. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
it's like
So
one of
weird.
those things that like triggers me. It's like a trigger for me. So I can cut up the bananas and all that, but for me to sit down and eat it is just like ugh, it's an ick. I don't know.
It's
So
the
I would say those are the
weirdest
main.
thing ever.
Those are, no, it's not. Just like how
It's
people
weird
be
because that's
allergic.
like it sounds like a pregnancy
It's
thing.
not.
Like
It's just like how people are allergic to seafood. You can't be like that's weird because you're
you are
allergic to
not
seafood.
allergic to bananas. It just makes you
Okay,
nauseated.
so
I don't know.
it's the same
That's
thing.
it's
If you
very
feel
much different. A lot of
whatever,
times people who are allergic to things, they actually want to eat them. They just are
true,
allergic.
true.
So yeah, I can't get with the sushi though. Y'all got it. They
Yeah,
say
what
do
other?
like the California rolls or like the just the cooked sushi if you're not a real sushi fan. I tried raw sushi, like the raw fish. It looked like they literally just got it from the ocean, maybe cleaned it and just put it in a sushi roll. I said, "Oh, no, it was so nasty.
See,
Oh, it was so nasty."
I haven't really tried it like that. Like it just depends. Like if something like, for example, if I have it, it's like seared tuna, I might eat a little here, I might eat a little there, but it's not something that I just get up and like, yeah, like if we just get the whole raw thing, dip it, eat it. Baby, I gotta advance to that level.
I
Okay.
have a very
Um,
childish palate.
Barry, mine is giving teenager, yours is giving
Yeah,
newborn.
I'm
Got it.
toddler.
Uh-huh. So Anna says short rib is very good. I'm allergic to shellfish and I don't like raw fish. Right. That's what I'm saying. So you could substitute certain things. They also have like chicken too, like, so it's the same thing. They're gonna cook it a little bit more for you. So
Yeah,
those
they'll
are
have to
foods
just
and
cook it.
drinks. Um, I also feel like I think that's it for me. I'm like, I don't what else do I mean Brussels sprouts was a thing too. I've always heard they're nasty, but I didn't really Hey Monalito, thank you for coming in. Hi.
Hi.
Um
I can't see the
I don't know
comments,
why the
everyone,
heck my
but
voice
I'm
then went so
here.
high pitched down, but so yeah, I feel like Brussels sprouts wasn't a food of mine either. But as I got older, like my mom, the way she cooks stuff is, very Caribbean-y, so it's always well seasoned. So I'm never gonna have, it's not no Brussels sprouts where you set it down on a sheet of paper, set it in the oven. Monolita said, "I love set in the oven, brown it or whatever they say, and then eat it with a little salt." That's not giving Brussels sprouts. It's very much giving cook it down, season it. That's the Brussels sprout I'm talking about. So as a kid, I never cared for it, but as I became an adult, I realized like eating more greens. Same thing with broccoli. I
Mm.
loved it as a kid, then stopped, then came back to it. So like broccoli, carrots, like a lot of foods I wouldn't eat as a kid. I actually appreciate those
I
now that I'm an
appreciate I'm not as
adult.
an adult, yeah.
Right. And I'm like, maybe if I ate a little bit more of that, I could see a little better, but
Yeah, but that's genetics too, though. Like
Yeah,
you not being able to see, that's
you know.
genetics. Cause I'm with you. Like we blind game.
Uh
We gonna see a blind
huh.
leading the blind.
Agreed. Okay, so branching off now. So we've already covered what is a new cuisine that you've tried for the first time and your approach on it. We've also discussed any new food or drinks, depending on when you were, much younger and what you like now. So the next thing we're going to head into is a two-parter. If you could choose an entire different career path, right, from what you're currently doing, what would it be and why?
It will be exactly what we're doing now, podcasting, baby. Podcasting, being a YouTuber slash just overall content creator. That's definitely the path that I've started, and that's the path that I'm on. So for sure, what we're doing already, I can definitely see us like just making this a full time thing. And the reasons for it is the flexibility, of course, able to make your own hours,
Right.
and I love to travel, so just being able to travel and then, you can get paid for doing so, creating your content and traveling at the same time. So those are my reasons.
Awesome. completely agree. I went ahead and wrote down here. That's funny. I wrote down here travel agent. If I wasn't doing what I was doing, like if I wasn't in the medical field, I would definitely be a travel agent. Now,
Yeah, I
mind
thought of
you,
that.
a travel agent is something fun. It's a lot more free. It's a lot more. You're able to come and go as you want when it comes to you being travel. But when you have a kid and you have a kid that is in grade school and you have a structure for them, it's hard to be a travel agent like that. Like you do want to be booked and busy. You do want to be gone all the time, but you do got to prioritize the fact that you have a kid who has to go to school Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They can only miss certain days of school, so you do have to think about those things as well. Same thing when it comes to being like a hostess, like an airline hostess or whatever airline.
You
So I'm like,
would do that?
I would love to do that. I would not have a
Mm.
problem getting up there in a plane, hosting. Hi, what would you like today? Tea, coffee, soda, drinks? What would you like? I have no problem doing that
Okay.
at all. I would do that. I'll be such a great host, but my issue is they're gone for a certain amount of times. Like you can't really have an excuse. Most of the time, the people and female males and females, because they both have both genders in that position as well. A lot of times they are leaving. If they're single or they don't have a lot of responsibility, so they're able
Mm-hmm.
to fly and fill in, do those hours. There's nothing wrong with that. You get to fly places, you get to travel with the pilot. I wouldn't mind doing that because I feel like I can explore. I might get off, and what if we get delayed in a different state, in a different country, something I'm able to stay there for a night. You know what I'm saying? And it's not something that I too much have to worry about. So I would love the fact to be a hostess. I have no problem with that. But again, when you have a kid that has to go to school and you're up 4 or 5 a.m. because you got to catch a flight, you have to take those things into
Right.
consideration. So that's another thing I would do. Anything dealing with travel, a travel agent for sure, a hostess, and then I also have on here content creating. Now, when it comes to content creating, I feel like you said, it gives you a little bit more freedom to do what you want to do, and it's not so what's the word I'm trying to say? It's not so monotone where you're just
Mm-hmm.
constantly doing the same thing over and over and over. You have the
Yeah.
free will to do the fun things. You have the free will to switch your content up. At the end of the day, it's like what you like is what you're putting out. Whether people have their opinion, good or bad. At the end of the day, when it comes to you being, conformed to a job, it's like you have to do this. These are your tasks every single day. This is what you're doing. It becomes
Mm-hmm.
very mundane. But when you have the freedom to create, the freedom to express, you're reaching other people that potentially could connect with you. You're reaching other people that kind of understand what you're going through. And it's a little bit more like it's okay to connect with people, that you don't know. Because sometimes, like you said, your biggest supporters are people that don't really know you, literally. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times when you're reaching them or you say the right things, they're able to connect with you. You're able to build a community. So I feel like when it comes to, like you said, podcasting, YouTube, when it comes to just being in the social light, if you're bringing a different type of energy, a different type of, personality, I feel like people could connect with that. So you're a little bit more free, and it's such a world now that has opened up. So a lot of times you have people that were doing 9 to 5, and once COVID hit, and a lot of people lost their jobs, and people had to shift and everything. Everybody started thinking, what I got to do for myself. I got to put myself first. And you step into that, boom, TikTok went crazy. Everybody became a content creator who probably didn't even want to do content. They realized, okay, this is where the money is. This is what I could do. People love me. This is my energy. And you're able to grow from that. So I love the fact that you can pivot when you have something like a travel agent, when you have something like a content creator, or just traveling in general. You can pivot. You could, you're a little bit more free, I want to say. So those are my three options there. The next question. Oh, and I had a comment here. Mine would be an orthodontist. Okay, I don't got no glasses
Okay,
on. I'm blessed with
orthodontist.
teeth, like really nice smiles, but then I saw how bad people's mouth get. I agree. That's something fun too, but
I don't
baby, I don't know
know
if I
about
want to
fun.
be. I don't know if I want to be all up in somebody's like open wide. I don't know if I want to do it. I can't see myself.
I have a weak stomach, so if I see somebody come
I
in with
don't.
with
I
12
don't.
cavities, or I can't
I don't
do it.
have a weak stomach, and because I've been in medical, like, I've seen people, going on to another side. I mean, like, and it wasn't nothing to me. Like, I didn't go home crying because I saw someone die. Like, it wasn't like that. But it's also teach you too. Like, not every medical is not for everybody too. Like if you're gonna be, your stomach has to deal with it. Like, I also wouldn't mind being like a um, what is it?
Mortician.
No, 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 baby. You could keep the dating. No, ma'am.
I'm like, since we
I
talking
didn't say I
about
want
it.
to apply. I didn't say I want to stuff them. Doing that. I didn't make up. I don't want to do all that. No. You can keep it. What I'm talking about, I wouldn't mind being like a criminal, like investigator, or doing like whenever like a crime happens or something like that. I wouldn't mind going on scene, trying to play Blue's Clues. Hello, I'm trying to collect all the clues. I really wouldn't mind doing
I'll
that.
do it behind the desk.
No,
I don't
no,
want to
I
go on
want to be
crime
out in
scene.
the field. I wouldn't mind doing that. And I said that how many times I would literally do something in crime because I realized like I don't have a weak stomach. I have a weak stomach for certain things, but when it comes
Yeah.
to like blood and gore, it's like it doesn't really bother me because I'm just like we're all humans. This happened, like it's normal,
Mm-mm.
like But for me, I would be able to go out there and be in the field and be like, okay, you know what? This is what happened, the time frame. Like I would be able to put the clues together because I want to figure out what happened. Like I would be putting myself in that situation to understand, like, okay, how could this have happened? How could this have transpired? Because it's almost always it stems where someone was once in love or something, and then it goes left. So figuring out the story of what happened, why it happened, like the psyche behind the person, girl, the whole shebang.
Yeah,
I'm
you watch a
just
lot of crime shows. You're one of those.
into it. Crime shows or not, I like it. Okay, so the second part is how do you think your skills and interests would translate into that field now, and what would appeal to you the most? So, like, what skills do you feel like you have currently that would help you to transition into that? If you say, okay, you want to do content creation, I want to travel, like,
Mm-hmm.
what skills do you currently have that could accelerate you there?
Quite a few. I would say we'll start with personality for sure. You need personality in the content creation world and
Agreed.
podcasting. You need to be a good communicator. You need to be a good interviewer because in most podcasts you're going to have guests. It's not just going to always be you or you and your co-host. You're going to have guests on the show. You need to know how to facilitate the podcast and seamlessly move into the next topics, know when to probe, know when not to probe. You got to be able to read the room and make your guests feel comfortable. So I feel like that's something that can't be taught. It just comes with experience, and either you have it or you don't, type of thing. Like Carisha surprised us. We didn't even know she could. She even had the skill of being a good podcaster because we saw her acting, and acting didn't go so well, but we enjoy watching her on a podcast, and I feel like that's just something that you can't really be taught. You either have it or you don't, and then also the more you do it, the better you become. So there's that. I'm down to earth. I feel like you have to have a down to earth personality. Like I said, be able to communicate. You have to be good with editing because we see the finished products of these nice videos, whether they're short form or long form, but there's so much work that goes into it. And Anna knows because I'll be seeing her content. It's a lot that goes into the editing and all of
Right.
that. And if your heart's not in it, you may easily give up because it ain't for the weak.
Okay.
Especially if you're not getting paid yet and you're just doing it because you truly like to do it. It's a lot of work that goes into it. So you have to have the editing skills. You have to have really a thick skin as well because you're subjecting yourself to a ton of opinions and people who don't know you from a can of paint, but because you are putting yourself out there, they're entitled to whatever opinion. So it's just a lot that comes into it if you're trying to do content creation or podcasting. And I do feel like I possess quite a few qualities that, could take me a little ways. So yeah.
Agreed. And I did follow up and said editing is essential. We have to love it. I agree with that. And
Mm-hmm.
piggybacking off what you stated, I would say, right, Kia got all the skills, but all those are great and must haves.
Yeah.
Agreed. So, like you said, you have to be willing to pivot as well. Things are going to go wrong. Things are not always going to run smoothly. You're going to have technical
Mm-hmm.
difficulties, as we always have when it comes to this type of
But
podcast. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're going to have things that just you aren't prepared for, and that is a part of creating content. It is never going to go smooth. And like you said, it's almost like before you get into the content creating world, like you said, we see those polished videos, we see the finished product, and we're like, wow, this is so pretty.
mm-hmm.
And then it's like behind closed doors. Do you know how many hours it took them just to shoot something for 20 seconds? So people don't really understand that. Or you have a video that you've had for however long, like maybe recorded like 4 hours worth of content just to cut it down for an hour. It's like, dang, I did all that just to get this out of it. So I feel like a lot of times too, you don't understand how much hard work go in behind closed doors. Like you see people sit out on camera, you see people talk. Just for example, like Carisha, there's a lot of editing, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
criticism that go into that. There's a lot of like, hey, this is what you could do better. Hey, this is how you appeal to your audience. And people are always constantly judging you no matter what you do. If you
Yep.
damned if you do and damned if you don't, you know. So like you said, you have to be able to take those criticism as they go. Thank whoever with their negative comments, whatever the case is. Thank them for coming because listen, at the end of the day, you gave me views, you watched it, appreciate you. Now go on about your day. So you know,
Right.
you just gotta kind of have to look at it and be okay with it. Some is gonna get to you because again, you might have thick skin, yes, but there's some comments that maybe a little bit more nasty than others. But you just have to find a more positive way to deal with it. Find a way like to edit yourself in that within that area of field. So,
Yeah.
just yes, those
I also
vlogs
want to
you
add
have to
creativity. Like you kind of have to be creative too, because
agree.
everybody, it's just a lot of people have entered into this field, and you have to try to find ways to stand out because
Right.
essentially everybody's posting the same stuff, but it's about how creative you can get with getting your message across and your content across, what's appealing. So yeah, you definitely got to have creativity
I
skills.
will say that ties into the personality too, like you had suggested, having a personality, because you can watch someone and they're very raw, very unedited, and people will like they
Oh
cuss a
yeah.
million times in 10, and people will like relate to them more than when you're more polished and you're more planned and you're more precise, and they could tell like, okay, you're really like trying to hold your composure, you're trying to this, you could tell the difference. So you rather
Hmm.
go with someone that's just going to tell you as it is. So
I like a
there's
nice
that.
balance.
And I said, yes, those vlogs, you have to condense so much footage. That's when personality kicks in. Okay, yep, agree. So, leading off from that, I felt like, and I said, like Zamora, so many people say Jules didn't start it, but Jules used her personality and it went viral. I will say that because you know what? Um, I was watching, and most of my questions today was kind of based on that. So I was watching, what is it called? Oh my gosh, it's a drink show on Netflix that I was watching, and it kind of inspired this. And I'm like, okay, I see people actually like go on TV and compete for drinks, like they deconstruct things, they remake things, and they make these fancy drinks. And I'm like, girl, at this point, a little strawberry margarita will do, a little daiquiri will do. We're just so basic with it, and these are like the cacao. They were like the cacao. And I was like, the little cocoa bean. And I'm like, you can't say, oh no, it's the cacao. And I'm like, they're just so fancy with their words and so, editorial. So I was just like, okay. So with that, yeah, drink masters, yes, girl, thank you. And there was a guy on there, and every time he's like, I'm trying to make this so Demore, and I was like, looking at the date when they dropped, that was 2022. So I'm like, Demore is just making his way back around, but it's really been not because he's the only one I heard in that. Oh, it's so Demore, and I was like, that's 2022, it's 2024,
And
and we really trying to
Netflix
make this.
show.
Yeah, Netflix show. It's called Drink Masters. It is so fun. I was looking for like a season 2 or something, but it's just so nice that people really, really like they put their all into that craft. And I'm like, girl, if you don't put a little 1, 2 in this cup and give it to me, no, they're like mixing stuff, they're baking stuff, they're breaking down, they're mixing egg whites, like they're actually doing the whole process of a drink. And I'm like, I want to go to their restaurant because they're really putting in their heart and soul into that. So
Hmm.
it's called Drink Masters.
I love me
Um,
a good drink.
what did Anna say? Drink masters love it. Top tier cocktail designer. It really is. I mean, they present a whole show when they're giving it to you. So with that being said, thank you guys for whoever's coming in and out and also commenting. Anna, appreciate you. So we're gonna hop into this or that, and of course, it's gonna focus on our topic, which is cuisine, drinks, and also a little bit of career. Since we're kind of having a little light fun night tonight. The first thing is sweet or savory snacks. So when I say sweet, think candy. When I say savory, think beef jerky. So sweet or savory snacks.
Sweet or savory? I have a sweet too, so I'm gonna say sweet. But sometimes I can do savory too. But I'll say sweet.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna go with
Don't do me
savory
because I'm
snacks.
just doing how you do me. You be so overcomplicated. I'm just letting it be known. I like
I'm
both.
I'm gonna say, I mean, yeah, I like sweets and all that, but if I have a savory snack, like, oh my gosh,
Chips.
like a savory snack, like a nice little apple with some caramel on the side, that's a savory
That's
snack.
sweet.
So. Not necessarily.
Apple and caramel is not.
Not
Apples
necessarily.
by themselves are sweet.
It's savory though
No, get
because
another
it's
example. That's
it's
sweet.
savory. It's like
Apples are
you know,
sweet.
that's savory. Anyways,
It's not
you
savory.
have beef jerky. Like I said, that's a
If you
nice little
said
snack.
pretzels, maybe.
Pretzels, dipped in something maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so you like
All
sweet,
right.
her.
Sushi or shrimp fried rice?
You know what I'm
I
saying.
really know your options.
I don't do sushi, so shrimp fried rice for sure.
I would do sushi if it's really good. Like there's some people that can make sushi and it's not as tasty and you're just like, okay. But then there's certain times like you can have sushi and if they have like the yum yum sauce and they season something, then
Uh-huh.
it gives it a little kick. Then I'm like, oh yeah, shrimp fried rice. I feel like I don't know about y'all, but I always take my shrimp fried rice home and recook it because I just be, it's just a thing I do.
I thought you was tripping when you did that. So until the last time I got some shrimp fried rice, I said, sis,
No,
I could not finish the shrimp fried rice. The shrimp seemed
it
raw. I say,
right, because all they do is put it in there. They take the big pan
no
and they
seasoning.
sear it, and then they put it together and they're like shrimp fried rice, and that's it. And I'm like, wait a minute, pause, and they don't cook it like because it's fast
Yeah.
service. You know what I mean? And they themselves sometimes don't eat the food that they cook. I hope you know that they bring their food
Oh,
from
I
home.
know.
And then they
I
serve you the food that they cook, which is like weird because I'm like, why would you not eat your own food? So I feel like a lot of times I take my shrimp fried rice. I'm not if it's the pork and all that stuff. I take it home. I always add a little bit more seasoning to it and then eat it after that. I just do a little extra to make sure it's well. Because again, I like well
you
seasoned food, not salty food.
really
Pause.
do.
I don't like salty food. I just like well seasoned food. So can't nothing be
It
wrong
be
with
on
just
the
like the
verge of
one
salty. It's like the step before you get the salty. That's how she want it.
right in the middle. As long as it ain't
Uh-huh.
salty, I'm good. All right. What did Anna say? Wait a minute. She said, sweet for the fruit snacks and savory for the slim. Ooh, Slim Jims. Yes, that's
Yes,
a
Slim Jims
savory
are
snack.
good.
Both, as you said, pork fried rice. I don't mind pork fried rice, but I like it mixed in with like I get the pork, the shrimp, the combo, the pork, the shrimp, the chicken, and then that
Um,
chicken. Oh, it ain't got nothing in color. I got it. I got it. I got to
I don't trust
reseason it.
their chicken. Is it
Again,
chicken?
this is why I reseason the food. I'm sorry, but I just reseason it.
We
No
know you
vegetables.
season your salads. Uh-huh.
I do with
We
extra.
know.
We're not gonna talk about that tonight. With extra eggs. That's good. No vegetables. I do vegetables. I know I've had a bad experience with them before where I've done vegetables and when I like got my vegetable, it was like a little worm moving on my broccoli. Yeah, and that's why when they put the sauce, I'm just kind of like I inspect. I just say, you know what? Let me go home and recook the people food because I don't have time. I know buying food to recook is insane.
I
I
think
know
you should just make it yourself. Because if you gotta go home and do that, that's crazy.
it's
That's insane. You could just
very
make it
much the
yourself.
same.
I think you're
But I
supposed to
wasn't going.
use like day old rice. So make your rice the day before,
What
refrigerate
you
it.
say, Anna does cook at home? Yeah, I do that too. But when I want to go out, I want to go out and enjoy. I wasn't gonna bring up that big bag salad. Big bag salad is insane.
I'm gonna
Because
bring it up because she keeps saying how she like her food well seasoned. Like, oh, we know you season your salad on your pot of garlic. I'm gonna stop you.
a seasoned salad, it's gonna taste good when I'm done. Don't worry about it. As long
That
as
girl
it's
thought
edible and
she
it's
was
not
seasoning the
salty,
chicken. Okay.
recook it because it's still talking to me when it come off that grill. No ma'am. No ma'am.
Bro, you are a
All
mess.
right. So, with that being said, chocolate chip cookies or brownies, since we're talking about sweets.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard.
It's not. You like cookies.
I like both. No, I'm actually gonna say brownie. I'm gonna say brownie, but I like both. It's so hard. Brownie, but not by much. Only because I have to choose. But I would do both.
I
But
would do brownies too because a nice brownie with some like
ooh,
vanilla ice cream on the side. Oh,
warm
that's
with
it. Hello,
yeah.
and it's melted. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What is it? Is it Chili's, the one where you could get the little cook?
The
But that's
skillet.
the
Oh no,
chocolate
that's the
chip cookie.
cookie
But it's like a
skillet.
cookie brownie. It's the same thing. They add the ice cream. That's
A
really good. That's a savory
brookie.
snack. A brookie is insane.
It's a brownie
Brownies,
and cookies.
brownies, warm cookies take too much time. No, but if you bake the cookie in the oven, though, it do its big one. Now the one from Walmart, that ain't gonna do nothing. But if you
Some nice old boneless cookies. Ooh,
if
boneless
you
chocolate chips.
if you bake it from home and it's nice and warm and you did that in some cold cow milk or some silk milk,
Have you on a cow. Please don't dip it in almond or cashew or whatever.
have it on the cow. Okay, it's ready to
You need to
move
hear it
on
say
down, baby.
moo.
Move. Hello, who's calling my name?
Bro, we gotta be stopped.
Got to be stopped. All right. So before we be on here another hour, because I refuse to edit for an hour,
Oh,
let me let me get to the next two questions. I refuse to edit. I promise you. Stop it at 30 minutes. Whatever we miss, we miss.
we cutting. No, you better add all this in there. And every
Not too heavy on the cow. Well, I mean, not too heavy on the plant because soy don't be hitting like
it
soy hit.
do not.
It
I'm
hit, but
sorry.
it hit after you add a little sugar, add a little vanilla. Then it might be talking about something.
Shouldn't be fine. You making everything unhealthy. Okay, I'm not against almond milk. I like
It is
almond
so
milk, but
easy.
some
It is
stuff
so
calls for
easy.
cow. I'm sorry.
It is so. I mean, especially when you get some Oreos and you dip them. Oh, ain't nothing smell like a cold cow glass of cow milk.
Almond milk could not.
An almond, an almond milk is still trying to find itself, still trying to grow up, mature.
We're
It's so
keeping the
not the
cow in
norm.
business, bro.
Yeah, my them we gonna keep them cows coming. Keep them on the farm. They work just for us.
Oh Jesus! All right, next.
Whew,
What's the
I'm
next?
crying too, y'all. I do
I'm
coconut, but the
crying.
fat from the cow milk stuff too.
What she
Yeah,
said?
girl, I got tears running down.
Me too, bro. I can't see no comments. What she said?
Uh, I'm about to not be able to see. I mean, my eyes watering up. Not too heavy on the cow. Just listen.
Oh gosh.
Just
Okay.
milk them and keep it coming.
Whew. All right.
I
Keep
do
it
see she
cute.
said she do coconut, but the fat from the cow milk slaps too. I don't know about no fat, baby. Just the whole cow. Just the whole cow. Not the almond milk. Hey, no, I like almond milk, but it's just think about it. A nice little bowl of frosted flakes with some almond milk. It's like, how dare you? Like, no. It's
You gotta mix the almond with the cow. I did that one time. It hit then. You gotta
cow milk
balance.
is fatty. Oh, well, I don't know. Bring on the fat, I guess.
But you know, almond is not bad in recipes though. If you want to like trade
Yeah,
out the and
it's
like you're
not bad.
baking,
Hmm.
almond milk is good for that because almond milk is naturally, I think, sweeter if you get like the
It
sweetened
is.
almond
And
milk.
also, fun fact, I'm going to put that out there. I had to do a research in my exercise physiology class in college, and we had to do a research on milk. And they actually say cow milk is very terrible for you as you get older. We're very much
Mm.
told to drink cow milk, vitamin D, vitamin this, vitamin that, whole milk. We're told to drink those things, but as you get older, it actually breaks down the components in your bone and make you weaker over time. So
Mm.
you're more fragile and likely to hurt yourself. So, in all honesty, we really need to get up off Mr. Cow and really go to the almond. But almond milk is just it just don't
We're
like
not listening. You know,
I
we're still young. We probably
I
got like
I'm
a few
not
more
trying to do
years
that.
before we need to take it serious.
That's just like
I
how
drank both. I do. I don't drink milk to be honest, but I use both. I'm gonna say that I use both.
I feel like almond milk, like I would do it for like 2 weeks straight and be on this health journey and then that cow call me right on back.
I
And then
had
I get on
completely
cow for a
cut
little
cow
bit.
out until I had Cam, and then because
They had to
that's
give us
really
up.
what they would
Right.
push. So then I started drinking his
Oh, insane. And freaking same. All right, let me go on ahead. I promise I'm
milk.
custom
Please, I'm
this
on
out.
20%. I just got
All right.
notification.
Next two, cruise or fly?
mm,
Since we're talking about
that's
flying.
hard. I'm just gonna say fly just because I've flown most and on most occasions, but I do love a good cruise.
Okay. I will say, I like the fly, but I feel like I don't have not much to look at but the clouds and the people next to me. So, with that being said, I feel like I would like cruise more. Like the water is a little bit more peaceful. No, it's so hard. I like both, but I prefer flying because it's quicker. And with cruising, it's like you kind of can't get off if you want to until we become at a stop. But the only thing I like about cruise is that you still have activities to do. You have a whole lot more on a flight. You can't get up onto that seat but release you. So it's pros and cons to it. But I prefer if I can be on a cruise and be doing something while out in the middle of the ocean. I'm enjoying myself. I'm getting to my next destination. It's fun versus a flight where I'm sitting out for 2-3 hours. I'm getting a free Wi-Fi. I'm not that into the movie choices that they have, but I have no choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's moving around for me is a little bit more free. So I say cruise.
Yeah, it
And
depends on the
then
duration of the trip though. Like if it's a long duration, definitely a cruise.
right.
Like you say, you can just sleep on the boat. But just a little short flight, or I'm just gonna take a flight and get to where I need to go to.
All right.
Yeah.
Anna said, I've never, baby, it's 9:18. I'm not playing with you.
It's so much
You
shit
can have that our podcast. I'm not playing with you. I've never been on a cruise. I like to get there quickly. If you're on a cruise, and I think you would like it because, like I said, there's activity. So you're not actually thinking about the water and how long you're on the cruise for. You're not thinking about all that. You're enjoying stuff. Like there's water slides when you go on cruises. There's night lounges where you go on cruise. There's yoga. There's all kind of things that you're doing when you get on cruises. So with you being preoccupied trying to explore anything outside of your room, they always want you drinking. They always got something going on. So you're constantly entertained till you get to your destination. They come on, they say, you're going down, you dress up for dinner. Like you just got so much going on. So for cruise, it's more like more of a host. Like they host you if you want to look at it that way. On a flight, you don't get hosted, baby. You got to sit there, like I said, till they be like, all right, you're safe to get up and move about the cabin. And it's only so much you can move besides the bathroom and your seat. With the cruise, you could do a lot more. You get up, you could go on the sides, you could do everything. Plan out your days on a cruise. I would suggest going on a cruise for real, for real. It's really fun. All right. Next question. Thank y'all for whoever is coming in. We appreciate y'all. The last and final question is, since we were talking about drinking and stuff, white or dark liquor?
That's hard.
Oh God. These questions been hard all night for you. Talking
Everything
about this hard.
is hard because I don't discriminate. But well, what is tequila? What's reposado? Whatever that is. That's its own category. So I don't know. I don't really do a lot of cognac. But if I guess
What
I'm
you
trying to
say?
get like
Is Chanel talking while Kia possibly choking? Oh, baby, you dying?
I was choking for
I
sure.
ain't see that, baby. I was in a whole nother world. My bad.
I finished my last little bit of wine and it went down wrong. I'm trying to show out and it said nope. Okay, my phone about to die. Okay, I'm gonna say white. If unless we're talking about tequila, its own category. So between cognac and like vodka or any
Kia,
other type of white, I'm gonna just say
light
white.
or dark liquor? Pick a color.
I'm gonna just
Either
say
clear or
light
dark.
slash white. And I know
Okay.
you like dark because you like Hennessy.
I do like dark. I don't mind a little Hennessy, a little Remy. I don't mind all that. That's good. A little whiskey sour. Anyways, I don't mind. I like dark. I feel like dark hits different. Like people a lot of times say they get aggressive off dark. I don't.
I
I get
do.
very relaxed.
I
I
get
get
very aggressive.
very relaxed off dark. It just depends. I feel like on how much you consume and what your tolerance is. But I feel like for me, it's just more. I don't know. When you drink, you get more like of a warm feeling, and maybe one or two shots will get you there versus like white. When it goes to a little tequila, it's really trying to kill you. Like you got to take a few shots to really feel it, and it takes a while to sneak up on you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a little bit more smoother and it's a little bit more quicker. But I feel like something that you want to keep the little tipsiness going is dark for sure. It'll get you there. Baby, crossfade. Do dark and light at this point. But
Don't do that. That's dangerous, especially if you're our age. You're in your 30s or 40s.
our age is insane. How old are we? Talking about our age.
We about to be
Insane.
we're in our late 20s. That was
Our age
when
is
you in your early
insane.
20s. You can do that. Don't do that now.
True, but I'm saying in moderation. Like if you're gonna drink a light and a dark, of course you're not gonna drink back
Yeah,
to
don't
back to back. But
do too
if
much.
you're trying to get like a nice little feel, and light for me takes a little while to get there, and then dark for me takes a little while. So I feel like maybe you have a little dark here, maybe one or two light. Especially when your body changes after having a kid and all that too. Just be careful, but do drink responsible. We're not endorsing anything, but I'm just explaining like light or dark, team dark over here, team light over there. Whatever floats your boat and doesn't sink your ship. Cool with it. Anna said I get aggressive.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too, Anna. I get aggressive too.
But
It
she
really
said, but
brings
I
something out
do.
of you for real.
She said I do love a do say this one hard. Okay. You know, I like something
You
with a little
say
flavor. 40 something. That one.
1942.
What was that too?
And
I
that
don't remember that.
I thought it was Don Julio.
Don Julio made me a fool for you. Shit,
Don
that girl
Julio,
did.
Actifulio. I like Don Julio, but ain't that tequila? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if we talking tequila, I go dark tequila. But other than that,
I don't know
light.
the doggone difference. So they'd be like, what you want to drink? Just give me something dark. Tequila, rum, something
Yeah,
dark.
I like I like rum, so that's dark. I do like rum.
So I was just about to close this out. Thank you. Because who about to be 9:30? Oh, time to go.
And then we repeat it last week.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with your host and your co-host. Don't forget to like this video. Clips and stuff will be posted up on live on Unfiltered, which is our podcast page. If you're not already following that, go ahead and head over there. You'll get updates. This full video will also be uploaded on YouTube later this week. On next week, we'll be back on Kia's page. And thank you guys for tuning in. And we hope you have a fantastic night.
Good
Bye. Anna said,
night.
thanks,
Thank
ladies. Have a great
you.
week. You too, Anna.
Have a great
Bye.
week.